There you
go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Committee of Adjustment for December 9th, 2025, 6 o'clock. Welcome, Jonathan. Ooh.
Sorry.
Can you hear us, Jonathan? Yeah,
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay, so we'll, if at any time that members of the public have a question, please raise your hand and you have to state your name and address so it can be added to the minutes of our meeting. Okay. So do we have any declarations of pecuniary interest? No. Okay, number 2, the adopt the agenda.
It is moved by Roxanne Louis and seconded by Kathleen. Resolved that the agenda for the West Nipissing Committee of Adjustment meeting of December 9th, 2025 be adopted as presented.
All good. We'll go ahead. Adopt. The adoption of the minutes, please.
It is moved by Roxanne Louis and seconded by Jonathan Sandiford. Be it resolved that the minutes of the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on October 14th be adopted as presented.
Everybody had a chance to read up on the minutes. All good? Okay. Carried. We'll start with our application. Consent application number 1, C53/25, Georges and Marie Arcan.
It is moved by Kathleen Rochon and seconded by Roxanne Louis. Be it resolved that the consent application for a lot addition at 657 Lac Couleur Road, Municipality of West Nipissing, is approved on the following conditions: that a reference plan be prepared and deposited in the Land Registry Office, and a copy of the new survey be filed with the municipality, confirmation that all property taxes are paid to date, that all conditions be met on or before December 10th, 2027, being 2 years from the date of giving notice, that a transfer be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer for the issuance of a certificate of consent. In the event that any portion of a municipally maintained and traveled road is located on either the severed or retained lands, that 10 meters from center line of the maintained and traveled roadway, including the retained land, shall be surveyed at the owner's cost and transferred to the municipality, and that a PIN consolidation be registered in the Land Registry Office in order to consolidate the lot addition lands with the lands to which they are being added. 3, Mr. Chair. This is a lot addition application, as I said. It's a fairly large lot, both the and the lands that are being added to. Let's see if I can pull up an aerial here. The lands which are being added to have a fairly significant impediment to creating an access from the road because of this kind of marshy area. They're looking to take a strip of land along this western property border and just add it so that they're able to put a driveway on there to go around that. And the agent is here if he has any further comments to add to it.
Thank you. Very briefly, Steve MacArthur with Tulloch Engineering, 621 Main Street, North Bay. Here to represent the Arcans tonight. Very simply, as Samantha has pointed out, and you'll see in my planning report on page 3, the figure clearly identifies that there's a large wetland area. And it's the whole nature of this application is to maintain access to the proposed retained, being the lands to the abutting lands to the north. Sorry, the severed is to be proposed to be access the lands that are under the same ownership adjacent to lot 4. And our survey crew went out there to identify a safe and appropriate location for a driveway access into it that is well outside the wetland boundary. And the intention is to add that to those lands through this application so that the lot 4 can be sold to another party.
Thank you.
Questions
from
Thank you. Is there a reason why there hasn't been a concurrent application to do the lot addition? Or will that be coming at the next meeting? Like, is there something in the provisions that says this is not a standalone lot?
My apologies. This is the lot addition. The lands were previously created through a subdivision. It was a 2018 subdivision application.
Yeah, but where on the map that we have where it says severed area, that's the land that it's being added to, correct?
So this severed area is being taken from lot 4 and added to
Yeah, I
right
thought it was a consent to sever.
No,
But it's just
lot
lot
addition.
addition.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure that everything's happening at once.
Okay, any more questions? No? Okay, hearing none, I'll bring it to a vote. Anybody in favor? Carried. Okay, we'll move to number 2, C54. Okay, C54 and 55 are the same owners in the same adjacent lots. Should you, is the panel okay if we do both at the same time? Yes. So C54/25 Northern Shield Modular Manufacturing Limited and C55/25 Northern Shield Modular Manufacturing.
Thank you. It is moved by Jonathan Sanford and seconded by Roxanne Louis. Be it resolved that the consent applications made by Northern Shield Modular Manufacturing Limited for the creation of a new lot at 62 Alex and one at 58 Alex, municipality of West Nipissing is approved on the following conditions. That a reference plan be prepared and deposited in the land registry office and a copy of the new survey be filed with the municipality. Confirmation that all property taxes are paid up to date. That all conditions be met on or before December 10th, 2027, being 2 years from the date of giving notice. That a transfer be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer for the issuance of a certificate of consent. And that in any event that any portion of the municipally maintained and traveled road be located on either the severed or retained, that 10 meters from center line of the maintained and traveled road be surveyed at the owner's cost and transferred to the municipality. Through you, Mr. Chair, I'm just going to pull up one of the pictures because they are identical. So these are 2 adjacent lots within the CASA subdivision. The applicant is looking to split each of the lots in half so that they're able to build a single detached on each house. So when these subdivision lots were initially created, they were put in with 2 service connections in them. So each has its own service connection. This meets the capacity limitations within the subdivision, and both of the lots meet the required frontage and lot area.
Okay. Any question from our panel? Jonathan, any question?
Nope, I'm good.
Are these fully serviced lots?
They are, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Part of our. All right, so any other questions? No, hearing none, I'll bring it to a vote. Everybody in favor for C54? Carried, and now we're doing C55. Everybody in favor? Carried. For them too. We'll move on to number 4, C56/25, the vinyl products.
It is moved by Roxanne Louis and seconded by Kathleen Rochon. Be it resolved that the consent application for the creation of 2 new lots on Canal Road, municipality of West Nipissing, is approved on the following conditions. That a reference plan be prepared and deposited in the land registry office and a copy of the new survey be filed with the municipality. Confirmation that all property taxes are paid up to date. That all conditions be met on or before December 10th, 2027, being 2 years from the date of giving notice. That a transfer be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer for the issuance of a certificate of consent. In the event that any portion of the municipally maintained and traveled road be located on either the severed or retained lands, that 10 meters from center line of the maintained and traveled roadway, including the retained lands, shall be surveyed at the owner's cost and transferred to the municipality. That the owner shall obtain a topographic survey of the properties in order to determine a suitable building envelope above the floodplain elevation of 197.25 and plot grading plan indicating the elevation of that the property will be raised to prior to construction. And then an on-site sewage system review be conducted by the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority to confirm that each lot will be able to accommodate an individual on-site septic system. This is at the south end of Canal Road. The current lot is quite a significant size, so each of the severed lots are just over 1 hectare and have the required 60 meters of frontage. The retained land is about 3.7 hectares. I'll leave it there for any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from our panel? Ma'am, go ahead.
I'm just sitting here.
Sure, you can.
My name is Brandy Campbell. I'm the owner of 1125 Canal Road. which is adjacent to the properties we're discussing today. This is my husband, Oswald Campbell. We both reside at the same location. So a few points that I would kind of make on this one, just to understand why I have interest and why I want to discuss this. So my property carries a registered easement for ingress egress. It was originally granted for 3 specific lots. The proposal today takes one of those 3 dominant lots and subdivides into 3 new parcels. Ontario law is clear. Easement rights do not automatically extend to the new severed lots unless the original easement explicitly states it should. Allowing 3 new dominant parcels would multiply the burden on my land and change the original intent of the easement. So my request today is that the severance does not automatically extend the easement rights to these 3 new lots. Easement rights remain limited to the single original dominant parcel unless there's legal documentation that provides and proves otherwise. I would just the next piece is more around just curiosity because we are on a floodplain, not opposed to kind of what we're even discussing today. It's really around the easement and understanding how that affects me. I was not notified of this as well, and understanding it's tethered to my lot. I thought that was quite interesting. I don't know if I should have received something in the mail, if that would be offside or on. But the next concern would be around the floodplain that I have. And I think this is just more being curious on what this would look like. So this is located on a flood plan. I've observed ditching, grading activity on these severed lands. This does raise concerns about drainage, simply just drainage, stormwater flow, and impacts of shoreline and easement areas. So just kind of curious on if the committee has already required a floodplain drainage or grading impact assessment to understand how that would impact that floodplain area and the neighboring lots around it. I want to be clear, I'm not opposing any development, right? I do want to get on with our neighbors, but I do want to oppose any unnecessary expansion of easement rights without any legal basis and potential environmental impacts that it would have with any of the land work and drainage that they're doing.
Yep. Do we have questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Does your property lie north or south of the property?
Is there an opportunity to put the image back on and I can show the adjacent lots? I'm across the street from it. I'm on the water side.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, if that helps, yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe that your property is the one with the green hatching.
Correct. The blue square is the one we're discussing today. The ones to the right of that are the other 2 parcels. So currently the easement access is to those 3, including the blue square and the 2 underneath it.
And the green square is?
So that's myself. So the blue square being divided from 1 to 3 will take ultimately 3 lots having access to the easement now to 5, creating that overburden that I'm referring to.
So the easement is I believe that's Crown, right?
The easement was my property in my name. I am the legal owner of it. The intent,
Of all the property behind it?
the
Wait,
If I, sorry,
Okay, go
if I
ahead.
may.
go ahead.
So the property highlighted, wait for it to load here. Property highlighted in blue and the 2 below that, when they were created, the owner of that property was also, I believe, the owner of this property at that time.
yes,
And when they were created, he created them and also provide a right of way over this property.
egress, ingress, yeah.
Yes, for the purpose of, I believe it was for water access.
And the reason initially it was presented was those 3 lots were going to be divided to 9 and sold to the Arcand family, and nobody stepped up to purchase it. Eventually, they opened it up to the public, and my family didn't kind of get together to look at removing it or not. So it's there now for those 3 pieces. So the original intent is now, and owners have flipped now as well. So you could see why I would have a concern with 1 being developed into 3 parcels, just in regards to the easement alone, not the development, the easement.
Okay. Can you, Samantha, clarify what is it, that easement?
So that is a right of way easement so that the property owners on the east side of the road
Okay,
have an uninterrupted access through a portion of the property.
Okay,
There's a part on the property, it's not the entirety of it,
okay.
to provide them with access to the Sturgeon River.
Okay, okay.
Is there a dock and a boat launch there for these?
No,
So is,
it's ingress, egress only, which means in and out. And that's all that's in the easement legal documents. Nothing more. There's no expansion on that, on how they would gain access. It's really by foot only at this point.
Okay.
Ingress, egress, just in and out.
Far as used or gone through your,
We have, I have had this property for 4 years. No,
okay,
it's never been used. The original intent was all of that land was owned by my family, and we wanted to split those 3 large lots to 9. There was some pushback from the municipality, a piece of for some reason, and also wasn't stepping up to buy. So that next step, years had passed, and when the years had passed, they sold it to public.
any questions?
so what would be the proposed solution to?
My ask is that it's not carried to the next new lots because it overburdens. Now there would be more lots and more owners having access to the property, and I live there as well. So my home is there, and then the easement is right beside it. I actually reside there.
The easement, when it's placed on the property, is continued in perpetuity, and does extend to future developments of the lands. So it would apply to the lots that are created. If it was a request to remove that easement, that would be a civil matter between yourself and the property owner.
From what I understand in the documents that my lawyers looked at, it does not carry forward to new severed lands.
That would, unfortunately, I don't have the easement document to be able to see what that is.
Because they'd be new property lines, new property lines, and taking from 3 to 5 is considered an overburden. Now the purpose is changing of why they would have access.
Go ahead, Donna.
So we're talking about 3 to 5, however, there's still 2 other lots there that if the owner would wish to sever, he could. So we could end up at 3, 6, 9, correct?
That's what the lady was saying, yeah.
Or as many as, yeah.
So as the owner, definitely that overburden concern is there.
Because I guess legally they can subdivide because they're within our sizes that are acceptable to the municipality. So we cannot, for us tonight, cannot stop a severance going through because they're within the municipal guidelines of severing because they meet the criteria of sizes for each. But for the I guess easement, I don't know if it's something that we can do as a board. Or if it's like you say, the legal matter, it's not up to us to justify who goes to the on the easement or not.
May I ask a question? And I'm not certain on this, but I'll just be honest. It's the first question that comes to mind. Does that not going to change the legal description of the property and the pins in any way, shape, or form? And if so, would that not require my signature because they would have, it would affect my lot?
So
No, and it's just a legit question. Will that not cause new pins and new?
yes, it will create new pins, but because they are coming out of that parent parcel, that right of way would continue through. If there are concerns about the status of the easement or how that will carry forward, this application could be deferred to obtain a legal opinion on that and possibly get a copy of that easement agreement.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to defer the application to the next meeting. Pending. I think especially because there are 2 other lots that we could see severed down the line. That, you know, if there is more information that we need in order to make a decision that is fair for everybody, I'd just like to have all the information.
No,
Okay.
in the motion.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll defer that application until next month.
You just want to get a vote, so Jonathan has to.
Okay,
You have to vote on the deferral.
I'm sorry. Can I get a vote on the application to be deferred? Everybody in favor? Carried.
So that'll be deferred to the next meeting and keep an eye on, it'll be in January since.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and I think the agendas will confirm that that specific file is on the agenda.
Yes, time. Thank you.
Sam, would she not, is she within the limits of getting notice?
I would have to check. It's a 60-meter
60.
socket.
No, I don't think so.
Just for
It looks just kind of on the edge. But sorry, ma'am, if you send me an email formally requesting to be notified of the file,
Yes.
Um,
What was your name? Did I
It will
email
on
it
there.
already?
yes,
So same contact.
yes, if you just
Thank
send me that email, when the next one comes up, I'll send you an email with the meeting date information here.
Okay. We'll move on to number 5, C57/25, Anna Atkin.
It is moved by Jonathan Sanford and seconded by Roxanne Louis that the consent application for the creation of a new lot on Cash Street, Municipality of West Nipissing, is approved on the following conditions. That a reference plan be prepared and deposited in the Land Registry Office and a copy of the new survey be filed with the municipality. Confirmation that all property taxes are paid up to date. All conditions met on or before December 10th, 2027, being 2 years from the date of giving notice. That a transfer be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer for the issuance of a certificate of consent. In the event that any portion of a municipally maintained traveled road be located on either the severed or retained lands that 10 meters from the center line of the maintained and traveled roadways, including the retained lands, shall be surveyed at the owner's cost and transferred to the municipality. And that the municipal clerk shall, pursuant to section 65 sub 1 of the Drainage Act, instruct the municipal engineer to report assessment for the drainage maintenance among the parts into which the lands are being divided. Through you, Mr. Chair, through you, Mr. Chair. This is a technical severance. So these were initially 2 separate properties due to an owner passing away. The names on the ownership of both the properties was the same and they merged on title. So this is just an application to pull them back into the lots as they were before.
Okay.
I have a question. It's kind of related, but not kind of not. I was under the impression that the municipality owned 1 acre right at the corner of Levat.
Yeah, they do.
That one, that.
Yes, that's the British.
That's the gray spot, but
Yes.
an additional acre on top of the OPG station.
Mm.
Okay, like, oh, it doesn't go right to the
No.
corner. Okay, that's all. I just didn't want to make sure it's accurate. Thank you.
Okay. Bring it forward. Do we have any questions from our audience? No? Any questions from our board? No? Hearing none, I'll bring it to a vote. Anybody in favor? Carried. Got delayed.
Fully serviced.
Okay, we'll move to number 6, C58/25, Church Falls Brush.
I need to take a breath this. It is moved by Kathleen Rochelle and seconded by Roxanne Louis. Resolved that the consent application for the creation of a new lot at 15 Landfill Site Road, Municipality of West Nipissing, is approved on the following conditions. That a reference plan be prepared and deposited in the Land Registry Office and a copy of the new survey filed with the municipality. Confirmation that all property taxes are paid up to date. That all conditions be met on or before December 10th, 2027, years from the date of giving notice. That a transfer be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer for the issuance of a certificate of consent. In the event that any portion of a municipally maintained or traveled road be located on either of the severed or retained lands, that 10 meters from center line of the maintained and traveled road, including the retained lands, shall be surveyed at the owner's cost and transferred to the municipality. That the development of the land shall be subject to site plan control, and that the owner shall, prior to the issuance of a certificate of consent, provide written acknowledgement as to the following. That Landfill Site Road is not maintained by the Municipality of West Nipissing, that the Municipality of West Nipissing makes no representations or warranties as to the condition of the road or whether it is suitable for the proposed uses on the severed lands, that Landfill Site Road may require upgrades in order to accommodate the proposed uses on the severed lands, the cost and extent to which are unknown, that the owner may be responsible for any geotechnical or other investigation and or construction required in order to upgrade the road to the standard required for the proposed uses on the severed lands, that the owners will be responsible for the cost of relocation of the existing gate from its current location to north of the proposed entrance to the severed lands from Landfill Site Road. The owners will be responsible for obtaining an entrance permit from Landfill Site Road. And that the owners will provide a drainage plan of the property, which plan shall ensure the property will drain to Landfill Site Road. Catch my breath here. So this is a reapplication of previous consent that was approved in 2023. Unfortunately, that did lapse because it wasn't completed within the 2-year period. So they're reapplying for the exact same thing. So this is the Sturgeon Falls brush site, and landfill site road is on the right of the screen here. They're looking to sever this parcel here. It's 4 acres or 4 hectares, 10 acres, which meets all the size requirements.
Okay. Any questions from our board? No, I remember 23 when we got through this, so if we have no questions, I'll bring it to a vote. Everybody in favor? Carried. All right. So now we're going to the minor variance. Number 1, MV 2025/21 municipality of West.
It is moved by Roxanne Lee and seconded by Jonathan Sanford. It is the decision of the Committee of Adjustment to approve the variance application made by the municipality of West Nipissing at 53 Bay Avenue to allow a deck to encroach within 0.9 meters of the front lot line, whereas Table 4.1 of the zoning bylaw requires decks to be a minimum of 2 meters from the lot line for the following reasons. It meets the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw. The variance is considered desirable for the appropriate development of the land, and in the opinion of the committee, the variance is minor in nature. The application is approved subject to the following conditions: that a reduction in front yard setback be in substantial conformity with the site plan submitted with application MV 2025/21, and that the proposed deck shall not be roofed or enclosed without a further minor variance application. Through Mr. Chair, this is the Club 50 in Cache Bay. We're looking to construct a deck on the front of it. So the zoning bylaw allows you to encroach with an unenclosed deck up to 2 meters to the lot line. They are looking to, realistically, it will only be 1 meter, just to have a little bit of error construction tolerance. The variance is to go to 0.9. You will note that the edge of the asphalt has been shown on the plan. The end of the deck is 8.5 meters, almost 30 feet from the edge of the road. So there aren't any concerns with this deck potentially blocking any vehicular vision.
Okay. Perfect. Any questions from our board? No?
No, I visited the site and
Straightforward.
it looks like it's, on the drawing, it looks like it's, but when you get there, there is a big allowance between, like you say, the edge of the street. There's grass, there's sidewalk, there's more grass, and then there's streets. So it's just the lot line is tucked in into the building. So thank you.
All right. There's no more questions. I'll bring it to a vote. Anybody in favor? Carried. Okay, your second minor variance, MV 2025/22, Richard Piché.
It is moved by Kathleen Rochon and seconded by Roxanne Louis. It is the decision of the Committee of Adjustment to approve the variance application made by Richard Piché at 372 Donny Road to allow the addition to a legal non-complying building to increase the floor area in the required setback by 44%, whereas the bylaw allows for 25% for the following reasons. Meets the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw. The variance is considered desirable for the appropriate development of the property, and in the opinion of the committee, the variance is minor in nature. This application is approved subject to the following conditions: that the addition to the legal non-compliant building be in substantial conformity with the site plan submitted with the application MV 2025/22. This is an application for an addition to an existing cottage. Currently, I believe this is a open deck portion. They're looking to do kind of a bit of a enclosed sunroof. It is within the watercourse setback. The zoning bylaw allows, when you have a portion of a building within a required setback, you can do an addition within that setback, provided you're not getting any closer. And the area that you're adding into your required setback is 25% or less than the floor area that's already in the setback. So this application, because of the degree that they're looking to do that addition, we're just increasing that to 44%. But it's in line with the existing frontage. We're not getting any
And
closer.
I believe there won't be no roof on the deck, right?
That is correct. So
Just on the porch.
yes, this
Okay.
will be an open, unenclosed deck,
Okay.
and then Yes, this box here is
Closing in that one.
more of a screen porch.
Sure. Okay. Any questions from our panel? No?
What lake is this one? Just.
Lake Sheboygan.
Okay, thank you.
Hearing none, I'll bring it to a vote. Anybody in favor? Carried. Okay, we are done.
It
Adjournment?
is. Thank you. It is moved by Roxanne Louis and seconded by Kathleen Shaw. Be it resolved that the West Nipissing Committee Adjustment Meeting adjourned to January 13th, 2026.
All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
We're done. Did January?